Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Borkno game video. Today's video is dedicated to day 0 of April clan battle. If you go into the notices here, it actually doesn't say the words beta. So this one, everything should be done appropriately. So let's see what happens with this clan battle. And one of the first things that I pretty much have to go over is what's happening with my stamina. And this are the fruits of my labor. So I pretty much did whatever I need to do. I got to 630 stamina this morning, or the other night. And then I also did some refreshes on my stamina, so now I'm technically at 37 out of 40. So I did my 3 refreshes in the morning. I had 999 stamina. I went into my guild house, I did the little claims, and I also leveled up. So my guild house is pretty much empty, and now I have this extra stamina that I can pretty much use tomorrow morning when time 2's drop pretty much happens, and I can go from there, because the whole point of this is to have extra stamina during 2x drop. That's why day 0 for this one in particular matters more than like the other like clan battle day 0s or day 1s, you could say. Alright, so pretty much I went into quest, I went into main quest, and I cleared out chapter 11 in normal mode. That way I am not doing any farming today, and come tomorrow I will do all of my hardcore farming. And just note here, up to 11-3. Now I can beat this team, but I can't 3-star it. So the team that I can technically run, and it is almost somewhat successful, but I don't really get like max stars from it, it's this one. That's going to be because the boss actually has a bit of magical damage, and Shizuru does, you know, like the physical shield. So I recommend bringing like a magical-esque team in order to conquer everything. And the hardest part to this is probably making sure that your units don't die from like the attacks and stuff, because the boss is actually pretty strong. Jun is definitely good enough to keep herself alive. She has like the HP shield. She also has a Kari around for a little bit of lifesteal. So the biggest things are Io and Carol are probably going to die. They're still at rank 7, and being at rank 7, they're not strong enough to really keep themselves alive, right? If I had them at like rank 8 or rank 9, of course they would be pretty good, but I'm going to keep them at rank 8 because that's where they're pretty much going to be good at. But they're going to be like my last party upgrading the mages, because I don't use mages yet during like my actual clan battle. Actually, Carol I might upgrade to 9-3 since I'm going to use her for my Kyoka comp, but we'll see how pretty much that works out once we go into the actual clan battles and everything, right? So you can see here on the normal waves, not really too many issues. We're topped up on health. Technically, you could say we have 2 healers. You know, you have a pseudo healer like Akari, and then someone like Yui. And then excuse if you hear like the trucks and stuff in the background. And here we go, everything's going well so far. We have Io doing her thing. They do actually attack each other, and then you have Akari here with a little bit of the lifesteal. Now note that the lifesteal isn't that great of a heal, it's just like a minor boost, and technically I can also run this not on auto, so I can time things a little bit better. Now here's where things get a little bit dicey, because the boss, you know, you can tell he hits a little bit hard. Now the important part here is if I can get Yui's heal off, and then we can get a little bit of lifesteal. The most important part is keeping our characters alive right here, because Io and Carol are really susceptible to damage. 38 seconds left on the clock. We might actually be able to 3-star this. This is surprising because I wasn't able to pull this off. And yes, we managed to do it with this team in particular. It's not like, you know, that free-to-play friendly, because I have Io, and not to mention Akari's 5-star. But hey, I'm super happy that I managed to 3-star this and capture this for you guys. So this is pretty much day 0. I recommend people just going through everything. Beating chapter 11 normal is the important part. Hard mode, not so much, right? And then of course, if you're struggling with anything, feel free to check the past parties, and we'll try to make like a more free-to-play team in order to tackle this. But I feel like your characters need to be a little bit like in at least max rank of like 8-6 in order to actually tackle this. So let's go ahead and go to some quests and do a little bit of arena, as we always do. And yep, I D-ranked. Well, that's just because like I really wasn't doing a lot of PvP yesterday, and I wanted to focus on saving some stamina, and I was just streaming. We were like streaming on Twitch and everything, right? Alright, we're gonna try this team on for size. Alright, we're gonna bring Makoto and see what happens here. Hopefully everything goes well. I want to try my best during these arena matches, but when it pretty much comes to day 0, you can do whatever you need to do, and the important part is to have some stamina left over for the next day. You can do as many refreshes as you need. Try not to farm today or go too crazy. Of course, you can do whichever you need to do. I feel like some of the guilds who are more like competitive, they're gonna try and pretty much max refresh today and max refresh tomorrow so that they can be at their strongest come day one, which is pretty much tomorrow, right? So technically the more like crazy hardcore guilds will be farming today, doing as many refreshes as they can afford to do so, and doing as many refreshes come the next day. That way they have the maximum amount of stamina expended in order to farm gear. Because even though I have like the 999 stamina plus like the extra stamina that I'm going to be getting from other means, it's still going to be difficult to say whether I can upgrade more than 2 or 3 characters with like the amount of stamina that I have, because it doesn't always work out in the way where everything just falls into place. So for this one, I don't think Makoto was the play. I felt like if I had June, instead of Makoto, it would have been a little bit better, just because of the fact that June can keep herself alive and block some of the magical damage. And in order to protect someone like Tamaki and so forth, it would have just been a little bit better, because as soon as Tamaki pretty much fell through, the team sort of fell apart. Alright, let's go ahead and do some Princess Arenas. Alright, let's go ahead and try and fight this team for size, see how it pretty much goes. We don't have any magical like units right here, so I don't know if we can take down this Tamaki, or not the Tamaki, but mostly the Miyako. We'll see, we'll pray, see how it goes pretty much. Alright, Suzuna with her UBs, Shori's with the UBs, everything so far so good. Mitsuki getting hit, but that's absolutely fine. June is taking this pretty well considering all the stuff, and there's not really like any magical DPS, and it's mostly a defensive lineup. Like Tamaki is like the only one that can actually deal serious damage, but as I can see here, we're not really dealing any damage to the opposing team at all either, so seems to be like at like some sort of stalemate, and if we miss a shot, it can definitely backfire on us. Taking down this Kuka, it's not really going to be a big deal per se. Losing our Mitsuki, that was actually a pretty big deal, because now we don't have any defense breaks. It leaves us prone to attacks. Suzuna, she's only 2-star, so I feel like this one I'm just gonna get stalled out. Like, I'm not gonna die, and I'm not going to pretty much fail because like they can't break through my June, which is pretty surprising considering the fact, because I felt like the Tamaki would kind of like destroy us and rip us apart, because that's what Tamaki usually does. But it's okay. I think this one I should have just brought like someone like Kaori, or maybe a magic based team. It would have been a little bit better, but I was just sort of experimenting and seeing how we were gonna do. I'm just surprised that June was able to keep herself alive like this, because I wasn't expecting that. June usually like dies almost instantaneously, but I'm also not a PvP expert, and I'm just pretty much going through the motions when it comes to these things. Okay, Miyako doing their thing, everyone's doing their thing. So far so good. This is more of like a meta-esque team that I think about on the reg, and I like try to use, but we might get pretty much destroyed from this. That Hatsune is like the most worrisome thing on this team. But so far so good. Doing some heals. Miyako doing her thing. Can you stay alive? No. Okay, yeah. This is where it's probably going to be GG's unless... Come on, get... Yep. Alright, nice. Oh, no, that's not enough damage. Like, if I brought June in this one, it would have been better. Or if I was just a little bit more tankier. Yeah, I feel like if I just switched the teams, it would have been a little bit better, but I'm not sure. Anyways, that's it for day 0 of April clan battle. Do what you need to do in order to have enough stamina, in order to farm gear, get your characters up if you're trying to do that in clan battle. Regardless of what's occurring, good luck to you and what you are doing. If you made it this far in today's video, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Once we hit 17,000 farmer subs, we'll be doing a giveaway. Thanks for all the likes on the guild house. I always appreciate it. Have yourself a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one.